what we are trying to do is to teach people to be a part of the business side of real estate. So it's not about brokerage or sales, it's about learning how to finance, learning how to evaluate, learning how to develop, learning construction management in building and owning real estate, because that's where the real wealth is. So we have people who, for instance, want to go into their own businesses, or they want to go into their own family's businesses, but they have to have the skills and the requisite knowledge to do that. Or perhaps they want to be promoted in somebody else's business and they want to be able to expand into the development side. And we teach them the skills, but more importantly, we give them the networking and the mentorship to be able to succeed.
How important is networking and mentorship these days in the scope of an education? For most people, education means sitting in a classroom and taking notes during lectures.
Yeah, I very much believe in sitting in a classroom, but I think the classroom is the world outside. It's not the four walls of the classroom. The world has to be a classroom, not only New York or the tri-state area or the United States, but the entire world. By arranging so that each one of our master's students in our real estate graduate programs has a one-on-one mentorship with somebody who is very senior in industry, it provides guidance for them, real-world guidance. They can ask questions. What do I need to do to succeed? Where should I be looking? What's my career trajectory? And so it's incredibly important to have that experience, as well as the networking. Networking is more business-like, and we have a wonderful network. Fordham University's alumni network is incredible. But the mentorship piece is also not only it's taking that network and being able to leverage the network, having relationships with the network. That's what the mentoring does. A person should always be upgrading and updating their skills and their knowledge. The world is a rapidly changing place, and that's very cliche, but it is. And I think people should always be learning. It doesn't mean necessarily formal learning. You can be learning by traveling, you can be learning from your peers, you can be learning by being out in the world, you could be learning by reading books or by taking courses. I'd like to think that in my school that we have the opportunity to have access to all of those things.
Over the years, what have been the most dramatic changes that you have seen as an educator in education?
Delivery format. At a prior institution where I was hired principally to develop their online platform, I was a skeptic. I went into it and I realized that online learning, and I don't like any other kind of appellation for that, distance learning, don't like it. Education, no. Online is all about learning, the focus on learning more than the teaching. But I realized that just like any other technology just enhances things. It collapses time, it collapses space. So online learning is not for everybody, but used properly, used in the right context, it could be channeled as an extremely powerful tool that really facilitates peer-to-peer learning, which I think is crucial today. We've moved away from the teacher-student model where you just take notes and look at a board or look at a transparency or watch a PowerPoint. Now it's much more learning focused, and it's more about peer-to-peer learning. But the reality of it is that Fordham is always about being in the world and interacting with people, and a concept that Father McShane has always said is bothered excellence. It's not enough to be excellent. Something should be bothering you. Something should be bothering you that you can make a difference in this world. And I think in Fordham, and especially in my School of Professional and Continuing Studies, this is what keeps us up at night. What can we do to give our students a better experience?